Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry about the change in background, but we're kind of going through a few transitions in our house right now. We're trying to just go through things, get everything up and moving and like switched around a little bit. So my background in my office has changed a little bit because I'm actually in the middle of kind of reorganizing my life, and my office is the first place that I decided to start. So today, as you guys can tell from the title of this video, we're going to be doing my August wrap up. Today is going to be a very laid back kind of video. Because I am transitioning and because fall is on the way and there's so much going on in my life, I just wanted to sit down and really just like talk to you guys just about the books that I read. There's not a whole lot either. I really didn't read a whole lot this month, and I'm actually okay with that. Like I said, we're going through a lot of changes in our own home. There's a lot happening at work, so I wasn't able really to read a ton this month, but I did want to sit down and talk to you guys about the books that I was able to read this month and the books that I am currently reading this month. So the first book I actually did finish, I'm going to leave the live stream down below for, but that'd be Godblind by Anna Stevens. I actually really enjoyed this book. Everyone else in the group didn't, but I was such a fan. I really like the world. I like that there are two separate main characters, one of which is able to kind of see the future, one of which who used to be a slave. Her name is Rillarin. I really liked Rillarin. I thought she was actually really cool, and I feel like people really didn't enjoy her, but I did. I think the supporting characters in this are really awesome as well. But basically what this follows is Rillarin is a prisoner of these people, and she actually ends up killing their king and running away. And there are gods within this world that are warring essentially to try to come back to the human plane to be able to kind of take over again, to be able to essentially rule. And I really, really liked that. I wouldn't say this is the best book I've ever read. I did end up giving it 4 stars. This is one of those books where I can't really explain why I enjoyed it so much, but I genuinely did. This is why I ended up just giving it 4 stars on Goodreads and not actually doing a full review for it, because the more I think about it, the more I think about how it is very similar to Game of Thrones from what I've seen or what I've heard, but I have not read Game of Thrones, so I don't have like the best information on that, but I still did really like it. So this is a book that I'm just a fan of, but I don't feel like a whole lot of people would be. I liked it so much that I actually ended up ordering the second one, so I definitely enjoyed it. Probably a lot more than everybody else that I know. The next book that I read, you guys have actually seen me talk about in my reading vlog, and then be Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This book was actually a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. This book actually follows a group of 4 women who are set into what is called Area X, which is an area on their planet, in their world, that is kind of cut off from all civilization, and they actually have been sending scouting parties into this area for a very long time, but people are having a negative reaction to it. They're either not coming back at all, they're either killing each other, killing themselves, or just coming back and then dying of cancer 6 months later. And the reason why I really liked this book is there's a lot more to it than I thought there was going to be. I found Area X also very intriguing. I want to know more about it, so I am going to be picking up the second one. I ended up giving this book 3 stars out of 5, so it wasn't the best book I've ever read. I did find myself kind of confused at times, and I don't like our main character at all, but overall I was really intrigued, so I will be continuing on with the series. Now the last book I have here that I am so excited to talk about is actually Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or the Sorcerer's Stone, depending what version you have. I know from now on that all of these books are going to be 5-star reads except for The Goblet of Fire. That one's always like a 4-star read for me. But I am once again just still blown away by this series. I have reread the later books in the series, but I have not read the first 3 again because I always felt like they were going to be kind of beneath my reading level. But I still genuinely love this book. There are a couple of problematic things that I saw, and I will list up above in the cards my vlog on this, but I feel like Harry and Ron are just complete dicks to Hermione, and I feel like I really identified with Hermione a little bit more now that I'm older, because I kind of see myself in her. She wants to help, she wants to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and Harry and Ron definitely treat her like shit because of that. I also felt like the ending was really, really rushed. I don't remember it being like that, but obviously I was, I think, 7 or 8 when this book came out. So I definitely didn't understand a lot of what was happening theme-wise in these books until I am much older, as with Harry and Ron being bullies, as with Hermione just kind of being cast aside and kind of, you know, they really do talk a lot of crap about her, and it was genuinely really upsetting. So I still really love this book, but I can definitely see some themes that maybe older people reading it for the first time might find be a little apprehensive about. All right, now next I want to talk about the books that I am currently reading. I'm currently reading Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I'm not going to go over that too much. If you guys want a list up above our Hyper Not group video for that. I am so excited to read Vicious. I think I'm like 10 or 15 pages in and already really, really loving it. I can't wait to read it with you guys, as well as, if you guys are not familiar, we are doing a Instagram, I almost said Goodreads, an Instagram challenge, like a photo challenge as well. You guys can find that on my Instagram. That is always listed down below. But I'm so excited to be reading that with you guys. guys, it's a book that has been on my list for a very long time, so I think it's time to just get around to it. And then as you guys know, I'm also reading Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. I'm going to insert a picture of that here. I actually think that it's in my car right now. I am loving that book. I'm almost done. I think I have about 100 pages left of it. It is definitely a book that grabs your attention from the very beginning. I like all of the characters as well. I think that they're very endearing. It follows an older gentleman who's just living his normal life. He used to be a part of like a band of mercenaries essentially, and one of his old bandmates actually shows up and lets him know that his daughter has been kidnapped and he needs his help. And the reason why I really like this book is, one, it is incredibly funny. Two, it's actually very heartwarming at the same time. And three, I think the characters are just wonderful. And then the fact that they're like older men, I think that really makes me like it as well. I would definitely recommend it. I've cried 100 times reading that book, and I can't wait to read the second one. Now, the last book that I want to talk about, you guys have probably seen me read in my vlog that went up on Monday, but that would be Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is my favorite Harry Potter book if you're not familiar. I love this book. I am almost halfway through. I'm on page 173. I'm not going to go into what this book is about because obviously we have all read Harry Potter, but I am so excited to be rereading this series, and I'm so excited to be falling more and more in love with them if it was even possible. But I just genuinely love it. I think I like this book the most because it's actually kind of creepy. This is when the series does sort of start to get a little bit darker. I feel like the first one was more just about magic and the wonder of what was happening, and I feel like the later books are more dark and creepy and kind of heart-wrenching at the same time. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you for bearing with me with the lighting changes as well. It looks like the sun is going in and out, and I am not the kind of person to be able to edit all of that out of my videos. I'm not very good with changing that up, so I'm sorry this video has been all over the place with the lighting, but thank you for allowing me to do this transition in my life, and thank you for always sticking around and hanging out with me. Leave down below the book that you read this month that you enjoyed the most, or alternatively, leave down below the book that you read this month that you disliked the most. But I hope you guys are having a good week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!